Hello, this is Ryan Salazar, and I just had foot surgery. They numbed my foot to take the toenail out because it was hindering me from walking correctly. And I'll be soaking this with Epsom salt twice a day, taking pain pills, and then eventually I'll stop wearing gauze or putting antibiotic ointment on the foot, the toenail, the big toe like that. I'll be good as new. Uh, the why Shenmue disclaimer is okay. I I have this post. It says why Shenmue disclaimer. That's the reason for the post. Is why is there a Shenmue disclaimer? And but part of the post that I'm speaking of here also, it says I want to be like Bob. Well, there's this, what this is actually. This is Sega. It's called Segalicious. Um, it's like a contribution of gamers, and they're commenting. They're speaking about different characters, different. They're talking really about different aspects of Shenmue that I initially wasn't aware of. Now I want these gamers to know, like Corey Marshall and that, and these are unofficial claims. They need to be initially unaware that, or they need to be aware that I'm the fight choreographer for this Ryozuki guy. All these moves came from me, but I'm the first one that's telling you this, and I don't know. See, I don't know why it's not hasn't been brought up to be official yet, but it may come out to be official that I'm the fight choreographer for Shenmue for Ryozuki, and I if it if things go my way, I always wanted to make Shenmue movies. Always wanted to have Shenmue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 5 if I can do it. And if I can't, well, someone else can take over the part maybe and finish the Shenmue movies series. I always wanted to do that because originally the idea that when I was younger, um, and these are unofficial claims, I had this idea inspired. I was inspired by Michael J. Fox and the watch. You know how Michael J. Fox looks at his watch. Well, that you know, I think that idea might have came from my teacher actually, but that's something I'm just figuring out as I think of this. Now, the fight choreography came from me, but the watch, that might have came from my teacher that taught me this. Because I remember him in class saying, he's asking me, and I used to wear a Timex Integlo Iron Man watch. He would say, and I forgot to take it off my wrist sometimes training. But in 1995, he would say, training, like he'd say, Ryan, do you have a Timex Expedition watch? And I said, what's that? I said, and then he said, he was kind of laughing, with the other Don instructors. And he said, Ryan, if you don't have a Timex Expedition watch, then I suggest that you get one. And then they kind of walked away. But they were like, there's these Don instructors that would train me, and well, they're like, to them, they're school, they're like high school honor students, they're um, college, maybe college honor students too. But when I knew them, they were just graduating college, but they had a reputation of being salutatorians, valedictorians, and I thought very highly of these guys to be that way. Um, I always aspired to be like that, but I don't know the right people, the right people to be, make friends with and be smart like that with. So um, I just didn't know how to do that. How to, maybe they like, maybe the way people do that, the way they get to be all A students or whatever, there's certain ways to do it that, maybe I'm not really aware of how they can pull that off. But um, to me, I think like really, if, as long as I can get a passing grade, um, maybe there's other ways to call it B plus. Uh, B plus actually it's a A plus, but see, better to be an A than a B, or but to be like an honor student, maybe they can call it A or B, but I don't know, like, cause I know you're supposed to get like passing grades in class, and keep up with class, and you have to have maybe some agreement with the administration, or maybe they just earn that themselves. See, there's different ways to like, in my opinion, to get those grades, but I don't, to really earn that, I think really the teacher has to have, in my opinion, I think the administration have to be aware that those parents want their kids, their sons, their daughters to be honor students. They have to be aware that they want them to be honor students. And I think like this kind of, it's like orchestrated a certain way that those kids are going to be honor students as long as they understand the material good enough, as long as they pass the class, as long as they impress the teacher enough. So the teacher is going to come to them and ask them a question. Oh, how many electrons or how many protons or neutrons is in an atom? You're supposed to know that. You're supposed to know all these different, things about chemistry, history, whatever, the hierarchy table of for life or whatever, the periodic table of elements. You're supposed to know that. You're supposed to know what pi is, 3.14. You're supposed to know all kind of things. You're supposed to know what? Formulas. It depends what the subject is. And my subject right now is that well, I'm Shenmue, but I'm the guy, and that's why they call me that's why I'm thinking like I'm Undead Noid, and it's really amazing that to me, and I want everyone to know that I am alive, and I'm really depicted to be this Ryozuki actually, um, and this is an unofficial claim, but the reason I wear a Sega shirt is for that too, that I have these claims, and I'm trying to do this. Like I always wanted to do this for Japan. Now, um, you know, my teacher knew what I needed really, but I don't know what went wrong in my past. It's like, you know, there's a lot to really, that I'd have to figure out, but I haven't seen my teacher in 28 years. But I know they say, why Shema disclaimer? Let me say this, why I'm asking that. My teacher reminds me very much of Guizhang, and he parts his hair like Guizhang, and he fights like Guizhang. And then there's this guy called Bob here. That video there from Shenmue 3 is reminding me of Warehouse Number 8. Excuse me. So it's reminding me of Warehouse Number 8, but it's hidden away and it's abandoned, like where nobody can find it, but certain people, they hang out there. It reminds me of that. Like, it's like, read between all those lines there. You see, certain people know about Warehouse Number 8. Certain people look like these characters in Shenmue 3 and Shenmue. And, to me, let me be honest here too. Ryozuki, the new Ryozuki from Shenmue 3, I have an idea of how they created that character, but I'm not going to say that right now. I might say that more later, why he looks the way he looks, Ryozuki. But really, I think they should have just, maybe they can go that route too for Shenmue 3, but maybe Shenmue 4. I want Sega and everyone to know, if I get my body back before you make Shenmue 4 and 5, make me the way I need to be, like the Dreamcast. because that's the body I had when I was 14 years old. And these are unofficial claims, and these need to be made official by Sega and by Bandai Namco and by all these other collaborates. And the person who I'm calling like Bob and that, well, it's my ex-girlfriend's dad. Okay. And hey, you know what? I don't know what to say, because this ex-girlfriend is also like special to this guy who reminds me of Guizhang. That's my karate teacher, and I can't help this because you guys, you know, the Shema disclaimer. Why Shema disclaimer? Why? Yeah, why? Um, because I know that I do the fight choreography of Ryuzuki, and I'm also even doing some of the moves Guizhang does. There's a few moves I can do that he does, but what am I going to do? I just copied him because I'm that good in karate. And maybe somebody has copied my moves and are collecting royalties that, well, the royalties are actually spread out, I think, amongst different sources or people, whatever, but I never got mine. And this is Retro Rizuki 81.